Remember the Manhattan Project? That's the project where the US built the nuclear bomb back in the early 1940s. It created a lot of dangerous waste, which is still sitting around today. And now the feds just pushed back, cleaning it up again until 2039. Almost 100 years since they made the damn mess, seriously. The Energy Department just proposed a 17-year delay in building a waste treatment plant at the Hanford site in Washington state, where a lot of the nuclear waste from the Manhattan Project still sits. They submitted a 29-page plan in federal court, and the whole thing is a quagmire of bureaucracy and human ineptitude. A big part of the delay is just because no one can figure out what the hell to do. The Hanford site sits right on a plateau above the Columbia River. It's considered the most contaminated place in the country because for 50 years, the nuclear waste was basically allowed to just sit there and seep into the groundwater and contaminate the whole region. So since it's sat there for so long, officials can't figure out how to clean it up now. They started building a cleanup plant. The cleanup plan was to vitrify the nuclear waste, turning it into like a glass-like substance that wouldn't leak into the ground, like the waste had been for decades. But a review last year revealed hundreds of significant design vulnerabilities, like seals that could melt and inadequate ventilation systems. So they stopped building the cleanup plant, and they still can't figure out what the hell to do next. Of course, there's also a money issue. Estimates put federal spending up to this date at about $690 million a year for more than a decade. That's almost $7 billion spent on this site just in the past 10 years. Remember, this has been a problem since World War II. So now the Hanford plant has a bunch of half-built facilities, and meanwhile the site remains toxic. Meanwhile, there's been a 400% spike in rare birth defects around the site. Meanwhile, the feds have admitted that the sites caused a lot of cancer. Meanwhile, the Energy Department just delayed cleaning it up again. So the site will continue to be a toxic mess for almost 100 years. Talk about waste, all right. Tonight, let's talk about that.